As Bitcoin continues to violently explode sideways, what comes next isn't going to come small. It's going to come big. So if you understand that before the pump, sometimes we need to go extremely sideways and everybody has to lose interest and hate doing this, hit that like and subscribe. You have a little over 9 days left if you want to take part in a Femex Big Luck Season giveaway where you just click this little itsy bitsy button and you potentially win something big or small. And without any further ado, let's completely and absolutely dump into what we're seeing right now, which what we're seeing is absolutely, completely banana mode. The fear and greed index is very much right now in fear. The last time we were this low actually was back at the beginning of October 2024. And where was the price of Bitcoin in the very beginning, or at the very beginning of October 2024? It was right here at about 60K before it completely nutted all the way up to 108,000, 109,000 US dollars. So the last time that we were this spooked, the last time that the sentiment was this bad, the last time that people were full of fear, like we are seeing right now, was before a mega giga bust worthy move to the upside. Now, am I saying that that guarantees we're about to absolutely go up big time and initiate a massive banana blast? That's not what I'm saying. However, what I'm saying is the sentiment is awful. And actually, I'm looking on the side of my screen. At this very second, Bitcoin is down 1%. And as always, these top altcoins are down like 10%. So for every 1% that Bitcoin drops, altcoins get banged 10 times harder, roughly, on average, or at least right now. And that is contributing to exactly what I just showed you, this awful fear and greed, or showing massive fear in these markets, right? We're pretty heavily into the fear zone. Now, I think that that's going to change. I think that we are going to get a bounce soon. However, I'm also not convinced that we won't have a dump first, considering the current price action. Now, we do have consecutive higher lows. And I actually want to look at some insane patterns as well. But I do just want to wrap up my point here. Basically, sentiment is awful because people are scared. We haven't really pumped, but also mainly this right here, what you see on the screen, this massive amount of sideways. People, myself included, hate seeing all of this sideways, right? The sideways is just terribly boring. Over 3 months of complete boring sideways price action makes for a market full of fear. And altcoins also getting completely banged doesn't help with that. However, there's some very big things actually happening right now. One of them in particular, Texas Senate holds public hearing on strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation. Bitcoin, referenced as digital gold by the US Treasury, has become a recognized asset in the financial markets. Big news. Additionally, we're seeing February Bitcoin sell-off potentially over here, where we see sellers getting completely exhausted. We see this slowly changing. But basically, yes, there have been a lot of sellers in the past month or so. There's been so many buys, whether it's MicroStrategy or, as we learned, Abu Dhabi and all these other places that are buying a large amount of Bitcoin. But there has been a lot of selling as well, which was kind of expected at 100K. The first time Bitcoin ever hit 100K, of course, some people are going to take profit, but we're seeing that those sellers get exhausted. And that is a big deal. We also see Jack Mallers here. He has a really interesting take, and it's perfect, I think. Everyone is a speculator. Fiat forces you to be. It's not enough to just do your job. You also have to outpace the destruction of your money, spend your paychecks gambling on memes, or contribute to the world and save in Bitcoin. Which way? So really, yeah, like it is not enough. If you have like a 9-to-5 job, let's say you're making, I don't know, let's say 50 or 60K a year, which because of inflation and everything is not really that great in terms of like what all you can, can you support an entire family in the year 2025 on a single $60,000 per year job? You could, I guess, right? I mean, actually, what do you define as family? Like you and your spouse, or if you have a kid or something? I don't know. I think that's kind of hard. If you go back 30 years, could you support an entire family on one job? with an average income, yes, you could. Nowadays, you can't really do that. So you have this additional responsibility of you need to make money, you need to have an income, you need to have a job, but you also need to make sure that the income you're making is outpacing the destruction of your money. For example, if you get paid in US dollars, you have to basically make more and more every year to just keep pace with inflation. And in my experience and what I do, the best way for me to combat inflation is by buying Bitcoin. That's what I do. And slowly, that's the bigger picture people I think are slowly waking up to, is that Bitcoin is not some risky investment that you know, maybe you can put 1 or 2% in and that's how you think of it. The real way to think of it is that your money, what you're getting paid in every year, is being destroyed. It's being inflated away. It's becoming less and less valuable. It's becoming more worthless every year. And Bitcoin is the exact opposite of that. It is gaining value year after year after year. It is becoming more and more valuable year after year after year. So it's a very, you know, that was a 1 or 2 minute way of explaining just buy Bitcoin, right? For pizza's sake. We also see that Bitcoin's first and only company to go public tomorrow, or the first Bitcoin only company to go public tomorrow, it's called Fold. Not sure that's quite the best name for a company doing this, because if they go bankrupt or something, then it'll be like, oh, they folded, or I don't know. I just don't necessarily think that's the best name for it. But also, Bitcoin is holding support in this gigantic, potentially gargantuan bull flag with a breakout target of about $140,000 per coin. And additionally, something I like better in crypto for 7 years, Crypto Jail says here, and he's never seen people giving up at such a scale while Bitcoin looks like this, trading within a bullish pennant. It's a massive disconnect between the king, meaning Bitcoin, and the rest of the crypto market, where yes, as I highlighted at the beginning of this video, altcoins are getting banged. They've been, the story of altcoins the last 2 years is just getting banged over and over. No surprise. I think that's going to change eventually, but not right now. And Bitcoin itself is in this beautiful pennant pattern, where I personally think the next major move, although I think we could have like one of these, another liquidation crash like this first and then, but I ultimately think the major trend that's going to be longer lasting is going to be the upside. And if we get a dump or a flash crash, it will be very short-lived, being completely erased and completely bought up within a couple days max. That's my opinion, my view on the market. And looking at this, the broader markets as well, DXY has been on a downtrend for a couple weeks now. The stock market as well is like looking like it wants to put in a new all-time high. It's very close. It's the S&P 500. It looks like it is trying to make up some ground. But as you might be able to see from some of these other charts on my screen, altcoins are not doing very well. And in fact, at this very second, Bitcoin itself is down a little bit. And as I said in this video, we could have one of those flash crashes coming up very soon. But I think it'll be very short-lived, and the trend, the longer-term trend, is going to be to the upside. But it is kind of crazy that actually, is it really crazy? No, it's not. Bitcoin traded over like 3 times as long in a sideways pattern before breaking out towards the end of 2024. Trading sideways, even in bull markets, before the massive pumps to the upside, is not only common, it is the most common way that Bitcoin has traded in the last couple of years. In these bull markets, unfortunately, because it's kind of boring, but also that's why I really don't like the argument when people get on CNBC and they'll say Bitcoin's too volatile to invest in, or at least they kind of used to say that. They don't say it as much anymore, because really think about it. Look at this chart of Bitcoin. Over the past 2.5 years, Bitcoin has really not been volatile. It's pumped up, traded sideways, pumped up, traded sideways, pumped up, downwards a little bit, but sideways, pumped up. So really, this is not like, it's actually becoming less and less volatile, it seems like. And if anything, most of the volatility is to the upside, meaning outsized gains, meaning you probably want to be invested in it because you're benefiting a lot if you're invested in it. But yeah, this is a very boring period, very sideways. And that's why I'm not posting videos every day, because quite literally, I don't have anything to post. It's not going up or down, it's going sideways. What am I going to talk about? Nothing. I'm not going to make a video for no reason. A lot of people do, and that's fine. I'm just saying I can't post a video every day if it's not doing anything. Now that's pretty big. But as well, if you are interested in joining the Femex Big Luck season, where you can get a share of this $100,000 plus prize pool. You have over 9 days. Just register in the description or in the pinned comment below, and then you click this little itsy bitsy button. And there's other ways you can get more clicks of the little itsy bitsy button to get more rewards. Yeah, but without any further ado,